Everybody. I'm Reverend Charlotte McGinnis, and as always, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to tune in and join me here today. Also, if you feel inspired to do so, I'd appreciate it if you'd pass this along to your friends via Facebook, YouTube, whatever, if you want to, and if not, that's okay too. So sorry I've missed you the past couple of weeks. Ellen and I traveled to Florida. It was a stressful trip. I can't say it was a pleasure trip, but there were certainly very wonderful aspects of it. But anyway, without going into the story, we're home. I'm glad to be home and getting settled back in, and all is good. But I will say that, as A Course in Miracles teaches us, everything is a teaching device for bringing us home. Everything is happening for us, not to us. So even though I felt like a lot of things were happening to me, to us, meaning Ellen and I, this past couple of weeks, somewhere I do know that there is a blessing and a gift, and everything is happening for us, no matter how challenging it may seem. So we put that intention out there. It'll be whatever we focus our attention on and put our intention on, that's what comes to manifest. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute, but you probably recognized I'm not in my usual setting. The upstairs dining room table is piled full of things, and I didn't feel like moving things around. We're still in the throes of a renovation here, and we're hanging out downstairs till it gets done, and looks like it's going to be another couple of months. But thank goodness we have a beautiful downstairs area and hang out here. So this is our downstairs living room. So just in case you were wondering, probably not. But anyway, I want to say hi to everybody. If you've never joined me, glad you're tuned in, and welcome to the Sunday Soulful Conversation. And we're going to talk about today, or I'm going to talk about, you all are probably wondering, what the heck is that? How did you come up with that title, Dachshunds, Dolphins, and Ducks? And actually, it was pretty, I'll tell you a little background. What happened is my dear friend Susan came and stopped by and spent the night before last, and on her way to see her mother in Kentucky, and was sort of a last minute thing, but we had a great visit. It's always great to see Sue and hang out and catch up. We've been friends for 50 years almost, and still remain dear friends. And so yesterday morning we were hanging out, drinking some coffee before she left. And anyway, she had mentioned about my Sunday conversations and how I could come up with it. I said, sometimes I don't get a hit or an inspiration till literally that morning. And it's interesting. I just let go and know that Spirit is going to tell me what I need to know and where to go with this talk and whatever it's supposed to be. And so I just trust the process. And so far it's worked, keeping our fingers crossed, right? So Dachshunds, Dolphins, and Ducks. Well, as we're talking, we're talking about the renovation, and I was telling her what we were doing here in the house. And I told her we were in a state of purging and clearing and letting go of a lot of things. And if you've ever been to our house, particularly in the living room, we have quite a large selection of ducks particularly, but we also have a lot of dolphins and a lot of dachshunds. And so we were talking about that, and I said, well, when we first moved in here 16 years ago, almost 17 actually, we bought a couple of these wood carved ducks, and they were real popular at the time and cute, and they named them, and they were kind of artsy and a big, they were everywhere up here in North Carolina. So we bought a couple, put them up, and when people came to see the house, they would comment, "Oh, the ducks are cute." Or we're like, "Oh, we love ducks." Well, guess what housewarming gifts we continue to get? Ducks, more ducks, and more ducks. And so we've got quite the collection of wooden ducks. And although we love them, I think we're going to just let those ducks be a blessing elsewhere for now, and maybe keep a couple of them. And the dolphins, Well, we were definitely, I think all of y'all can relate to dolphin energy and how they just make you feel lighter and more playful and uplift you. Dolphins are great. And years ago in Florida, we had the opportunity to go down to the Keys and swim with the dolphins, which was so amazing. I loved it. And that had to be close to 30 years ago at this point. And anyway, that was a highlight of our life. So we did collect dolphins, to say the least. So we got several of those. And then the dachshunds, well, those of you that know me know that we are doxy people all the way through and through. Thanks to our friend Lori, who inspired us that we needed a dachshund. Lily, we got her 25 years ago at least. And we've been doxy people ever since. And I had never dreamed I would have a dachshund, and now we've had 3 of them, and they are just so sweet. So with that, guess what people give you? They give you a little dachshund. So we got lots of dachshunds, dolphins, and ducks. But the real reason is that those are part of our letting go process as well. And so we're looking through all these beautiful gifts and all of these neat little things we have in our house, and really taking the time to say, is this bringing me joy? Do I love this? Does this inspire me? Or is it time to let someone else be inspired by this lovely piece? So there you have it. So this is a talk on letting go. We are in the process of the journey to Easter, the resurrection. And with that comes the purification process and letting go and really questioning our beliefs and our values and looking at that which inspires our ascension and that which keeps us dense and heavy. And so this is a time of contemplation and healing and, of course, letting go. So today's topic, dachshunds, dolphins, and ducks, is my own little triple D. I don't know if you watch Guy Fieri on the Food Channel, but he has diners, drive-ins, and dives. So my triple D is dachshunds, dolphins, and ducks. Maybe there's a TV show in there, you never know. Well, Ellen said this morning, she said, you should look up and in the animal spiritual meaning of dachshunds, dolphins, and ducks, and see what that message is, because all animals, there's a great book Ted Andrews wrote, and it's one of the most fabulous books. He's since moved on to the spirit realm, Ted, but this book, it's probably 40 years old at this point, Animal Speaks. And with every animal, from birds to dogs to bears to snakes, what have you, they all carry with them a spiritual meaning and message. So she said, look up and see what those messages are for the dachshunds, dolphins, and ducks. And so I was like, oh man, was this ever right on? And anyway, dachshunds, you need a break from routines and stressful situations. Check. Take time for yourself that you can rest and renew. And, I think that's not a message for me alone. I think that part of this sacred time leading up to Easter and an ascension is to take a break from routines and stress and take time for ourselves so that we can rest and renew, restore, right? And so what is it maybe that you're carrying over on your back that is causing you stress? And is there another way to be in this situation? And better yet, is it possible to just let that situation go and move on? I was listening to a podcast the other night from Christiane Northrop, who really enjoy a lot of what she has to say. And one thing she was saying is she's recognizing that she doesn't need to save the world anymore. She doesn't need to be a warrior. It's really about, doing that which makes her heart sing. And I am paraphrasing that, but for many, many years, I have sort of had a warrior spirit and been here to serve and help and inspire. And I feel like it's also time to move on from certain things that I've been doing over the years. Of course, continuing with Sundays and my Course in Miracles and the prayer ministry. But there's a few things that I think I'm ready to let go and pass the baton and let other people have the experience of leadership in certain areas. So I look at this time of year and the message from the Dachshunds that we need to take a break from the routines and stressful situations. Take time for yourself so that you can rest and renew. Dolphins, well, there you have it. Dolphin spirit animal represents harmony and balance. They're highly intelligent. Actually, dolphins are one of the most intelligent species on the planet. And they're a symbol of, I love this, protection and resurrection. Their playful nature is a reminder that everyone needs to approach life with humor and joy. People who identify with dolphin totems are usually peaceful and gentle, but with a deep inner strength. So, yes, dolphins are intelligent, they're playful, but they're deeply connected to their healing. They're healers. That's why a lot of people swim with the dolphins, to be in that energy, and they do heal and let go, because as we know that if you really look at the root cause of most illness, there is a trigger of stress in there somewhere. And it's about looking at releasing all that keeps us burdened and heavy and stressed. And this was a surprise. Well, not really, but ducks. Just a couple of things. I love this. Laughter and happiness. What's that common thread, right? Laughter, happiness, and joy. Good luck. Nurturing and bonding. Emotional stability. Romantic love. Travel. Purification and transformation. Intuition. And of course, the best for last, spiritual ascension. So, spiritual ascension, I believe that we are all on this rapid track to ascension. And what that means is maybe different to all of us. But we're going to talk about that more in just a minute. But I just want to remind you that even if you don't buy Ted Andrews' book, you can go online and look up spiritual meaning for any animal, really. So think about an animal that you may be drawn to, and go online and look it up. Spiritual meaning of birds, and you could even say eagles or hawks. You can be more specific, and breeds of animals and things like that. And if you look it up, see if it has any meaning to you. It's fun to do, and you just might be surprised that animal totem or spirit is actually there to bring us a message, to help lift us up, to guide us, lead us, direct us. Well, just changing, moving away from the animals for a few minutes here. As you know, you've heard me say many times in the past that I appreciate and know the power of astrology. And I have to say, my mind does not, I look at the charts and I can't make two bits of sense out of it. People have done charts for me over the years, and I can't figure it out. It's just, my mind doesn't go there for whatever reason. But that doesn't deter me from using astrology and the guidance and the messages of astrology, because it is really mathematics and science, and that the stars do carry great and the planets and the moons carry great messages, and there is a lot of power in astrology. So one of my favorite astrologers that I've gotten tuned into the past few years, she's on YouTube. She's a beautiful British lady. Her name is Pam Gregory. And I watch all of her little presentations, videos, every time there's a new one. And she has been, I have to say, pretty right on over the past few years. And why I like her is she explains it in a way that I can understand it. And even though she pulls up the charts and goes over that, I don't feel like I'm getting lost. She's very clear, very simple, very concise, and most important, very accurate with her readings. So I was listening this morning, and of course, her real message for the past few years is that astrologically we are moving into times of massive change, transformation, shaking up, reset, and everything that we're co-creating a new earth. We're moving towards a whole new way of being. And although there have been some turbulent times and possibly some to come, the outcome is sure to be wonderful. And so I love the way she expresses the message and says, yep, it's a little rough here. It's going to be rocking and rolling here. But don't turn on the news to get, don't get all bent out of shape. Just go inside, go in your heart, and focus on co-creating what you want to bring into the new earth. What is it that you would envision if there was, if we were co-creating an earth that was for the greater good of every soul on this planet? What would that look like? And, where we were totally unified in peace and in love and harmony and prosperity, good health. And if we focus on that collectively, we're going to have a huge impact. But we, as A Course in Miracles says, we're here to rise above the battleground and sort of watch this play as it unfolds, and bless it as it unfolds, and to keep our hearts open and our vibes up and positive, so that we are a part of the solution rather than the problem, or part of the light rather than the darkness. Now, of course, astrologically, she supports that with the stars, moon and stars and planets and all of that. Well, biblically, there are many indications, if you follow scripture, that we are also, there's great prophecy in the Bible, and many of the prophecies are right in front of our eyes right now. And so we're, there's what I love is many spiritual teachings are coming together to support this great awakening, this ascension process that we're all a part of right now. And it really is, in my mind, the more I read about it, and I do study from so many different perspectives, scientific, spirituality, religions, astrologically, psychically, all of these, is we are in the midst of huge change and transformation. And how exciting is it to be on the planet at this time? So, not dwelling on the trip to Florida, which I will say was very difficult, and I'm not stuck there, and I'm not saying that like poor Charlotte, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. That's not what this is about, but really to be able, thank goodness, to recognize that there is a blessing in that, and to invite you guys, if you're going through a tough time, to ask yourself why this is happening for me, not to me. How can I grow from this? Because everything is an opportunity for healing and unity and peace. So it's a blessing in all of it. And sometimes, I will say, and again, only as a means for teaching, but I was feeling pretty spiritually grounded and feeling pretty happy, and dang, sometimes it's like out of nowhere, you can just get sort of slapped in the face and like, how the heck did that happen? And I think it's the little tap on the shoulder from the universe or spirit or what have you, saying, well, you still got some work to do in this area. But that's the blessing, because until we recognize that there is work to be done, there is letting go to be done, there's forgiveness still to be done, that I'm still holding grievances. I'm still seeing myself as separate. I'm still judging, blaming, separating myself from certain situations or what have you. That just means that it's an opportunity for me to look at this differently and to be more present in love. And so how do we do that? Well, we have to let go of false identity. And that's ego identity. We identify with our accomplishments, our past, our what do you see yourself identifying as? Your job, your family, your bank account, whatever all these things are, they're false identities and ego attachments. And the truth is, in the realm of eternity, those are certainly wonderful, and they were teaching devices, they were learning devices, but in the end, all that really matters, all your past except its beauty is gone, or all your past except its love is gone, and all that remains is a blessing. And again, back to Christy Ann Northrop, I had, and I really related to this, that she had talked about, her past being, on Oprah all the time and Time Magazine, and, being applauded for all these wonderful work she's done in her life. And you get to a point, and she said, I'm not that person anymore. And I don't want to dwell there anymore. And I've been so much feeling that myself, that so many things in my past, which were wonderful and good, I can't even, it's like, really, that was me? And I can't even identify or relate to that. Not good or bad, but if I'm dragging the past, good or bad, into and identifying with this and holding on to this and keeping, all of these things going on in my mind, then there's a good chance that I'm not fully allowing myself to be present. And when I'm present, I'm in peace. I'm in the moment. I'm not anxious. I'm not afraid. I'm not judging. I'm not projecting. So the more we can let go of our false identities and ego attachment, and just invite the Holy Spirit into our body, mind, and soul, into our heart, and ask for guidance, just be a conduit for love and for good. So that's what this time is about. It's purification process, decluttering process, a time of Lent, restoration and renewal. Well, I read this little Q&A asked to a master who, his name was Master Wu Zin. And it says, Master, how can I obtain peace? And his answer, if you want space, you remove all the rubbish obstructing the space. If you want peace, you remove all the mental rubbish obstructing the peace. You've been keeping your attention on states that are temporary. Now turn your attention to the unchanging. So remove the rubbish. As I said, the ego identity, all of this stuff we cling to, stuff. And I do see that a trend is people are choosing to live less cluttered mentally and stuffed lives, and to tap into the unchanging, or as I would, as A Course in Miracles, and I see it as my soul, my spirit is changeless, formless, and eternal. And that part of me, part of you, part of all of us is there for the asking. But we have to be willing to let go of any idols, obstacles, judgments, fears, projections, etc., that keep us from tapping into that. And then we begin to live every moment in presence and peace. So in winding down here, just ask yourself maybe, what brings you peace and joy? Maybe what can you let go of? What are your power animals? What animals are you drawn to? What lifts your spirit? Where are you still holding grievances and judgments and pain? What part of your past are you still dragging on that keeps you from your ascension of body, mind, and spirit? And then say, I'm willing to let that go. That to me is the journey into Easter and ultimately the ascension. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, support you, accept you, and bless everyone else. I find, and probably you all as well, that my circle is stronger but smaller, and it's much more powerful. So I'm very aware of my environment and what I allow into my environment. That I used to just come on in, everybody. It's not that I don't bless and love everybody, but I'm more aware of what I'm allowing into my life. Nature is wonderfully healing. Getting out in nature. It's a little chilly today. I was going to take a walk, but it's 31 degrees. So we'll see. Gratitude. Be grateful for all things, even the yucky stuff, because that's bringing a blessing as well. I'm grateful for all things. Attitude of gratitude. One of the highest vibrations we can bring into our experience. Check in. How does this feel? Pay attention. Live and let live. So the more we sort of start to pay attention, we become more sensitive, we become more tuned in, we make space for spirit to really come in and work through us. The whole game changes. So this whole process of the journey of the holy weeks coming up, or that we're in the midst of actually, and the changes in the world. The banking situation, the stock market, interesting, right? We're being challenged, whatever comes of that. And remember, it's never the situation that upsets us, but how we relate to it, how we view it. Holy Spirit will always bring us to a state of peace. That's mastery, being in the eye of the storm, and the eye is very quiet, but everything around you can be swirling and going crazy. But when we stay in that presence of spirit, it's like we're standing in the eye, we're just watching the swirling, but we're not getting sucked into it. We're not engaging in the chaos. So time of reflection continued. We're going to continue this process as we go on each week. And as I'm winding down, what are your dachshunds, dolphins, and ducks? In other words, what can you let go of? What do the dachshunds, dolphins, and ducks bring to you? And which ones can you release and take a message from? So for now, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Share this if you feel inspired to do so. My website, charlottemcginnis.com, if you want to see what's up. Got kind of a quiet schedule, but the prayer ministry, you can ask for a prayer request at any time through my website. You can also learn about my Course of Miracles class and, of course, Sunday Soulful Celebration. So for now, have a great day. Many blessings to you all, and see you next week. Namaste.